Hi, nice to meet you. I am Satchel Gismo, and this is how it all began. Oh no, let me put some clothes on. I'm much better getting clothes back on, got my inventory organized, we're good to go. So welcome to my home. This is my bedroom, got a lovely view. So the construction on this place actually started back in 1.17. Didn't have a whole lot of time to play back then. I actually ended up going on a yacht for a year. Thought I was going to have free time, but ended up working 70 plus days in a row for a day off, and that cycle continued. But I'm back. We transferred this over after the terrain changes, so we'd have our lovely place with even a lovelier view. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm a big fan of 1.18 if you can't tell. But we're doing this all wrong. Let me take you through the front door. Well, there's no front door yet. That's another project that needs to be worked on. Here, I'll show you what I got so far. Alright, so we're in my creative testing world. And what the plan is for this spot is we want the door to come up and seal this. And when it's closed, look like there's nothing there. No door, no nothing. So we're going to use some slime block flying machines. I don't have a convenient switch place. When we hit this, we'll have this module come up. And it'll seal just like that. And it'll be 3 side by side. And then when it comes back down, it'll seal up like this, and then there'll be some pistons that push blocks over the top right here, so it's a flat surface, and it'll make it look completely invisible. And we'll have some dispensers right here with water buckets that'll fix all the water that got displaced, and so that way you have a nice little stream with no flowing water and a completely flat bottom. Going through here's the opening, so it goes from completely invisible to completely open and free access without seeing any redstone, other than the dispensers, but those will be underwater, so I figure that's fine. But back to our entrance hole. This is the entry cave. Got a nice little mossy vibe going. Got a map of everything around. We'll do an update here as time goes on. And then here's my special little see-through block. No idea why this works the way it does, but it lets you see the fishies. Anyway, let me take you on up. So we come up here. This is the cellar, the basement. We got all our goodies, although there is not much. A little bit poor, but that's okay. Got a potion system. This fills up the water, so we can fill up our water bottles, make some potions, got all the ingredients. This takes you back down. This elevator goes to the second and third floor. This one just goes straight to the second floor, where we'll see our kitchen. And this is probably where I spend the most time. Ah, because look at that view. Get such a nice sunset in here. And this is Friend. We have many friends around here. None of them are actually people, but we have cute friends. Anyway. Got our pool that we can come hang out with. Eventually, once I get a bee farm going, we'll add some candles, make it a little cozier out here, a little brighter, so you can stay out here after the sun goes down. You know, we can get a little, if you move around enough, you can get some bubbles. Maybe. Aha! Hot tub. As far as the kitchen goes, we have all our storage here. Somewhat organized. Good enough. We have a smoker for quick cooking food, quick cooking ores. Got everything going on here. This is the food dispenser that is always empty, and I am always hungry. Speaking of. Now this is the den, or the hearth. Let's call it the hearth. This is the hearth. Probably the least functional room, but one of my favorite as far as how it feels. You got the fireplace, and this actually goes straight up into the smoker in there, which I thought was a cool touch. This is for your basic furnace uses, for whatever you need. A lot of times sand to glass or anything else. Got trash can. Got little book nook. This is our book nook. Oh man, we should have come down here when the sun set. You can see the sun perfectly through here. It's nice. Got a little crafting table if we are smelting stuff that needs to be combined. And that is the hearth. Got another little trash can here for any food deposits. Composter. And let's go ahead and take the ladder all the way back up. And you've kind of seen this already. So this is the catwalk around. I most often don't even use the elevator as the ladder. I just like to take the quick way down. But we got our catwalk, we got another nice view with our torches of our little mine over there. It's super basic right now with just some spammed moss terraforming, but we'll fix it up nice and pretty here in a little while. Before too long, we got our attic storage up here, if I can get up here. That anvil's usually in a box, but it's kind of started to just live there. It was meant to stay in here and then only come out when you need it, but I seem to need it a lot. Let's put it away. Nice. Much better, much better. So we have just kind of your miscellaneous junk up here. Lots of extra coal. It's one of the few things we have a lot of. Final little feature right here. You can actually get up on the roof. So you got a great view, and I'll give you a little tour of what's around the space. We'll start out over here at the mine. Super basic. We got a skeleton farm down there. We have our sugarcane farm, which will eventually be a nice paper mill with, I want to do like a cool windmill right there. And then finally, we'll end up over here at the trading hall that needs a bottom. Needs some pants. We'll come back down all the way and to the mines. Nothing super fancy. We just got some bulk storage of, you know, kind of the basic stuff. And then at the end here, we have 4 different drops that take you to 4 different levels. So you can kind of see this is level 1, level 2, and each level is a different Y level for depending on which material you want to get. We have an infinite water source in case we need to take water with us, and that's the elevator back up. That's all there is to it right now. It's just all strip mines down there, nothing worth seeing. So next we are on to the skeleton farm. Whoa. There's ghosts. Skeleton farm needs some type of entrance. I have no idea what I'm going to do for it. Right now it's just the sadness. Eventually we'll get there. I see light. Here is the skeleton farm. So right now I got the lights on, so there's nothing spawning. But I got tinted glass here, so when I hit this switch, see a bunch of skeletons spawn down there. And I wanted them all running to the center, just for the look of the thing. But they kept getting stuck on each other, so I had to make this little agitator where the piston blocks just push up and, you know, push them around until they fall in the hole. Eventually they come down here. This farm needs some updating, that's for sure, but so far it's worked well enough to get me the experience and the bone meal that I need. So, not too shabby. Well, with that, we'll flick of a switch, shut everything down, and we're off to the next stop of the tour. So the next thing we got is our little sugar king farm. This thing's fun. We got 3 rows of sugar cane, and it's the classic observer at the 3rd spot, piston at the 2nd spot, grows up, activates the observer, piston hits, and then we have hopper mine carts going underneath. But I have mud there, but I also have hopper mine carts, so I could really replace it for sand. Not that it makes a difference, but it seems to bug a lot of people. Don't worry, it's all on sand down here, where it matters. And then we'll quickly jump on up here. Yeah, and this is our enchanted setup. We got a little book storage. And that's all there is to it right now. This is the output for the farm. I don't have much else going on up here. But yeah, eventually a cool windmill would be awesome up here. Almost like the windmill's doing the work to turn that into paper into paper. A paper mill. We'll put a paper mill up there. That's what we'll do. This is a build I found by Sylph Viper. At least that's who posted it. And I thought it looked pretty cool. They had it as like a desert library, but I wanted to modify it, make it fit for a villager market. And I changed the whole color scheme as well to better match foresty, you know, earthy with the browns and the greens. I also decided to put the entire thing on an angle as opposed to having it straight. I think it just gives it a little bit more depth, makes it a little bit more interesting to look at. Now, my favorite part about this build is actually this front door right here. So it's nothing too fancy, just two triple piston extenders, vertical ones right next to each other. And you activate it with these buttons through quasi-connectivity. That's how you can make it look hidden and not see any of the redstone. But the hard part is it kept going too fast, and these blocks would turn back into their item form. Similar to how when sand drops on a torch, it turns back to an item form. Yeah, same thing. So I had to slow it down enough to where they stayed blocks, but not too slow because you don't want to wait forever for the door to open and close. And here is my trading hall. So the idea is to have this keep pushing back. We're going to have grand ceilings, a water feature coming down in the middle here from the ceiling. And we kind of want to style this off the New York Stock Exchange with big booths dotted around, and you kind of walk through. I'm trying to avoid having the villagers be trapped in one by one cells, and instead they'll be able to walk around here freely, so you'll get that kind of bustling activity feel as you're coming through. Now, in order to find the correct villagers, we'll have their workstations in their booths, so you can find them near their booths at least during the working hours of the day. And then at night, we'll have beds off to the side, so that way they can go, sleep, get straight back to work. They're very dedicated. So up here is just a small little temporary clay farm. I was using it to get clay balls that I could trade with the stonemasons. Needed a bunch of emeralds to buy quartz, and I was using that quartz in the next build that I'm going to show you. Now up there you can see my iron farm chugging away, hard at work. I forgot to point this out earlier when we were up on top of the roof, but this is a pretty recent build that I've started working on. I'll show you what I got so far. So this is going to be a healing balloon styled after Felix Baumgartner's skydive from space. Thought it'd be a fun concept to have this as the capsule and then have the balloon above it, absolutely massive. I might end up moving this up more to really get that sense of they're jumping from the top of the world. Plus, the iron golems look kind of like just buff astronauts anyway, so it works out. Now with this being a newer build, I was actually able to incorporate the crafters. And so we have the poppies coming down, being composted into bone meal, and the bone meal being turned into bone blocks. And then we have the iron being turned into iron blocks for easier storage. And that is everything for this area. Now I have one more area to show you. I call it the ranch. Now being from Texas, I was practically required to have a ranch somewhere here, so I decided to get it out of the way early. You know, otherwise I'd bring dishonor to my family. Welcome to my nether portal cave. It needs some work, but I haven't done too much with it yet because I actually found out that the front door that I showed you earlier, the flying machine is coming down so far that it's actually intersecting with the water here. So I'll have to figure that out, but it shouldn't be too difficult still to be able to make this idea work. To the nether we go, and then we panic run because we are not wearing any gold and we do not have any protection. Oh wow, that nether portal is loud. Run. Run away. I do this every time I come through here. We're making a pit stop at the log cabin on our way to the ranch. Let me take you inside. Inside we have a nice and cozy atmosphere, a bearskin rug, a fireplace burning, a friend sitting atop our pile of stuff, some leather armor to go up into the mountains with, and up here in the loft we have our little bed and some extra storage. Now the best feature of this is 100% the fireplace. Took me a while to do this, but getting these 2 blocks to be the 2 blocks I wanted as opposed to redstone drove me absolutely crazy, but I finally got it working. And so if you go down here, this is going to be our portal room. This is the portal we came through to get here. And then if you go down here, this is going to lead to some stables that I have planned. Alright, well, let me close this up real quick so we can go outside. So right now I have to use flint and steel, but eventually the plan is to put a dispenser right up here in the chimney that shoots down a fire charge and relights this after a certain amount of time after you put it out with the shovel. The only thing stopping me right now is the fact that I don't have any fire charges, but we'll get there. You saw my panic run through the nether. We still got a ways to go. It always terrifies me putting the flint and steel back in that barrel. It would be way too easy to light this log cabin on fire accidentally. But that's why we need the fire charges. Much safer than flint and steel. A lesson for the kids. Hey, there's another one of our friends. May you jump on your old back, good sir? Alright. So, even though the cabin itself is done, we still got a little bit of work to do out here on the outside. We're going to put a cute little garden here, a little smoker here to cook all the food, and then down here is the stables that I was talking about. So we can get this guy out of the cold, because I know he's freezing up there. Ouch. But looks like the sun's going down, so I'm going to take a quick little rest, and then we're going to come back and ride over to the wheat farm that I have off in the distance, just out of sight. Good morning, friend. Alright, let's get going. It is a bit of a ride over to the wheat farm, but on the way what we have planned is we're going to put a ranch house right over there on that hilltop right there. That's what's really going to turn this into the ranch that is named. For now, all we have is this pumpkin farm right there. It's trickling out some pumpkins that we can trade with villagers. And then over here, we have some cows grazing. Here we are. Got some cows grazing. Eventually we'll have sheep, pigs, all the different livestock down this valley here. Trying to model this after some animal husbandry I've seen in New Zealand where they have the stone walls surrounding them. I'll probably redesign and texture this a little bit. But the idea is you'll ride in with a horse, you'll have hay in your hand, you'll feed all these guys. You got Bessie, you got Bella, you got a bunch of different ones. You feed them all, and then you come over here with the wheat in hand. The babies will follow you. You jump over the wall here. The babies get run underneath, and then you have this area be where all the babies grow up to eventually be food. Delicious. Seems that these babies are crafty and are escaping my paddock. You crafty little guys. Onwards to the wheat farm. Let me actually come up here so you can see a little bit better. There you go, good guy. You stay right there. So we're going for a bit of a terraced farm look. And so this will all be full of wheat. And then we're actually going to put some villagers in there as well. And we're going to fill their inventory up with seeds. So while they're farming around, they'll throw the wheat on the ground, and then we'll have these cute little guys run around, collect any wheat they drop or any seeds, extra seeds that they have as well. Here, let me actually grab some real quick so we can demonstrate. So if I run around and just throw some of this stuff pretty much anywhere on the ground, and the range on these guys is actually quite impressive. So how it works is they collect it all, they fly over here, they drop it all in the lay pool, which collects it up and sends it into some water streams we have going underneath here. And all of the water streams run over here. So eventually we'll have an item elevator right here. So all the items collect here, they'll run up here and go straight to our wheat mill up at the top. that concludes our tour. There's a lot to do, but for now, I'm about to go tackle some trial chambers with nothing but my bare fists. So if you'd like to see me embarrass myself as I die repeatedly to baby zombies, then I will see you next time.